아주 기본적으로 이 정도만 알고 있다면은
I don't really believe in like 이거만 알면. Questions are really important, and I think questions get underestimated. 바로 그거예요. Like don't just study grammar. If I take a grammar book and study, 그러면은 머리가 들어갈 수 있는데 it's just in your head and it's only about reading and write, like reading. And you might be able to write it, but it's not, we can't speak it because actually those are separate parts of the brain.
기본이 되는 문법만 알고 있어도 충분하다라고 말씀해 주셨는데 그러면 그게 좀 궁금하실 것 같아요. 보시는 분들은 그럼 어떤 문법 지식만 알고 있으면은 될까? So what basic grammar should we know?
Well, I mean, I can't like, I'll just tell you first. Like what I would recommend and what I did is I got a grammar book. But don't just study the grammar book. If you only study the grammar book, it's really easy to forget it. 그럼 grammar book 배우면서 약간 input도 하는 게 되게 중요해요. So if you study grammar, just basic grammar, I think you don't need to go into more advanced grammar until you get more input, and then you can start studying through patterns. For example, if I see this basic grammar in the book, then I'm experiencing the input and I can realize what's happening there. 이 grammar 여기서 나왔네요. 그러면은 그거 어떻게 쓰는지 다 볼 수 있고 그거 하나 예문이 되는 거예요. 그러면은 그거 쌓이고 이제는 자기 것으로 만드는 거예요. I don't really believe in like 이거만 알면, but I can tell you what I think would be useful in talking with a foreigner. As, no as, past tense, well, be ing, how to use be verbs basically. Also, when you're talking with a foreigner, I think questions are really important, and I think questions get underestimated. Like, basically, a lot of times what'll happen when I'm talking with someone is I end up interviewing them. I'm the only one asking questions. And this is a little bit difficult in some situations because, I mean, usually a conversation needs to have tiki-taka, right? But if I'm the only one asking questions, 약간 지쳐요. If you're talking with a foreigner, I would like to teach people more about how to ask questions and then react and then kind of create that tiki-taka. That's what I work on with my students. Okay, you asked a question, you listen to the answer, 그럼 한 질문 더 해봐요. 내 답에 대해 한 질문 더 해봐요. 그러면 이 티키타키 만드는 거예요.
공부했으면 거기에 대한 예문을 많이 보고 내 걸로 만들어라.
그렇죠. 약간 문법만 문법
이렇게 하는 게 아니고.
바로 그거예요. Like don't just study grammar. If I take a grammar book and study, 그러면은 머리가 들어갈 수 있는데 it's just in your head and it's only about reading and write, like reading. And you might be able to write it, but it's not, we can't speak it because actually those are separate parts of the brain. So when you try and speak it, it doesn't come out. So instead of just creating that word, the basic structure with your grammar, it's much better to create a rounded experience while you're studying. So do grammar and then also experience that grammar somewhere else. That's really important. And then if you experience it, then also shadow it or create your own sentences, make your own diary or something like that.
문법을 하나 배웠으면은 패턴별로 연습이 많이 필요하다. 나만의 문장으로.
네. 그렇게 하고 if you practice like that, think about in your life, when would you ask someone a question like that? If you want to ask me a question with does, what would you ask? 진짜 실제 그런 거 생각해서 그냥 of course making examples is good, but 실제로 ask me a question with does. Like if you ask me, does she is a little bit strange. You might say, does your husband like to listen to music? Yeah.
내가 진짜 할 법한 이야기를.
Yes, this is really important. I mean, making examples is very good, but 진짜 내가 먹을 수 있는 거. Usually quickly or briefly, and this is neutral tone. Now, I hear a lot of mistakes with favorite because it's a really common word that almost all English students know